Hello, this is Extra Guards X, otherwise known as Alex from FloatTheFlop.com, an amateur poker player who writes an amateur poker blog. And I haven't streamed or put anything on YouTube in a while, so I figured this is a good opportunity to do so, seeing as everybody's out of the house. And hopefully we'll do well. Before I get to 231 and for my bankroll, which is where I'm going to switch to $7 triple ups, or rather go up in that stake, which actually has more volume, I believe, than $5 9max regular payout. I think, oh, that's not interesting at all. This is, I think, a dead hand. So, yeah, I'm only going to play one $5 game at a time. Again, I'm not really going for volume, even though I wish I could. I really do have a lot more to work on in terms of mistakes that I make. For instance, the last game I was the upper middle stack out of 4 players left, went all in against the big stack for no reason on a mid pair semi bluff, and I was an idiot for it. I don't know why. I thought I had enough fold equity, but again, he didn't care, and so that made no sense for me to do. But I still did it, and I think it was because I was about to put the kiddo to bed, and I sort of just wanted to, I don't know, focus on one thing at a time. Not really. Yeah, that's just what I do. I accidentally make stupid instant mistakes instead of putting the time to think about it. And it really should be. Every time there's an all-in situation, every time I might, I don't know, it's just really dumb what I'm doing too often. I can only imagine if I made half the mistakes I do, like I do, and Bovada being very fishy as it is, then I can't even imagine how much better or what position I would be in terms of what stakes I'd be playing at versus my goal overall, which has changed, and I haven't updated on my blog yet, so that's pretty interesting. Going to be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a good, interesting, weird time. I'm only going to 550 for my goal instead of making it unlimited, because again, once you get to these higher stakes, there's less games going off. And in that case, I want to switch to something where there is a lot more volume to be had, which is, oh, this is interesting. Do I have the odds? Not really, because not everybody's going to stay in to give me at 90 times 25. Yeah, no. Yeah. And I say 90 times 25. I'm not doing the 510. I'm going between the two. If what I'm calling can get me 25 times the implied odds, or the whole calling with speculative hands under 5%, not over 10%, and somewhere in between maybe. That's what that's about. But anyway, yeah, so I'm only going to 550. Once I hit 550, I'll be switching to a cash game and MTT only challenge. And then once I hit $1,100, I'll be, well, actually, yeah, $1,100. I'll be moving over to America's Card Room because they have 100% bonus up to 1,000. They have awesome bonuses and or rakeback. I think you only get one or the other. So starting bonuses versus rakeback. Rakeback's long term going to be better. But then again, if online poker comes back for the most part, in any sense, I'll be switching to something that has more volume regardless of the skill level, so I have a chance to get better, and I have a chance to play more often and do less waiting. So I really think just going with the normal bonuses is going to be better off in terms of, I don't know, enjoying it more, and instead of worrying about rakeback. But anyway, especially with the $1,000 deal, as long as I do good bankroll management and make better plays, I'm going to be doubling that money automatically. So we'll see. It's going to take a while to do, but that's fine. I'm not playing high stakes, and it is what it is. But anyway, so this is going to be a semi-boring game. Pretty standard stuff. I'm not doing 2 tables. Again, I want to concentrate and finally get over this hurdle. As you notice in the bottom left corner of the screen, you'll see my progress so far. You can see where I had issues playing $1 games because everybody was super loose passive. You couldn't make any moves. You couldn't do anything. Then realizing that my 110 original bankroll was rolled for that could handle a $3 triple up stake, I did that, and that helped. And then I had a free roll where I won 20 something bucks, which definitely helped. That free roll was from playing previously on Bovada. And what was that was cool about that is that was earned through, there's two ways you could do that old series of free rolls. You could either use your points, a small number of points, and get into a semifinal, or just go into the tournament with a higher number of points. But the semifinals automatically gave tickets to the top 15 players, guaranteed. So if there's only 20 people in there, it was very easy to cheaply get into the free roll. I think it was $1,000 free roll, and I blew it with a couple decent mistakes once the blinds got up higher. But that all aside, it still helped jump up to the $5 stakes, which I felt more comfortable at until I got too much confidence and then started putting too much, I don't know, too much, I don't know what the word would be. I just worried about the results too much. And my last blog post on floattheflop.com actually goes over what saved me, and in terms of my outlook of results versus quality of choices made and everything else, and playing well overall, and the mentality to go into it without a sense of dread in the back of your mind sabotaging your game. And that was actually a comparison between Call of Duty, the popular franchise video game, and poker. And this is based on a theory I had a long time ago about how only 10% of poker players, something I knew back then, were long-time winners. At that time, I was definitely not a winning player, and I'm probably still not now, given all the failures I've had in the past, where bankroll management and tilting just killed me. But despite the many, many books I've read and everything else, and now, basically, so the similarity between the two was, if only 10% of poker players are long-term winners because they hoard all the winnings because they're the only ones. Oh, wow, look at that. I almost wanted a call there. I would have had to get this perfect flop basically against 4 other players, and oh well. I mean, what was it, 90, 75? I didn't really. I sort of had. I barely almost had the odds. Maybe against number 1 here. Well, actually, no. I would be the effective stack in most of these cases. So, yeah, I barely had the odds, I think. But whatever. So, the same thing was like with Call of Duty. Too many people are bad at Call of Duty. People think they're good because even though they're bad, they're comparing themselves to people that are just worse than them, and therefore, oh, I think I'm good at it. And people then don't try to get better. So you only have. I did some, surveys pretty much of leaderboards and people and where they compare to each other on all these different leaderboards, to find out where that 0 kill-death ratio landed. And that kill-death ratio being how many kills do you get per how many deaths you get. And at 0, or I'm sorry, not at 0, but at a perfect 1, it was a perfect ratio, 100%. That number actually resided in about the 85th percentile. And then if you figure there's a good number of the people in there that haven't played long enough for their stats to really matter, I would say there's about a 5% possibility of error. So there's your 10% that are long-term winners in Call of Duty, whereas everybody else is just bad and then slightly better than bad. And that was what started this whole blog and my whole re-looking at that theory and what else could be similar between the two. And with that, basically, the different mentality, because like I go into a Call of Duty game, I'm sitting there, and I feel comfortable. I feel 100% comfortable going into any Call of Duty team deathmatch, especially, and just doing well because I'm making the right choices. And even if I'm with a team of randoms against a team of friends, even if we lose, and this is one of the many similarities, I still did well, and I most likely carried our team to a close win because the game is designed to take 2 teams, whether they're stacked or not, and try to balance them as well as possible. So every game is as close as possible as it can be, given a team of random people versus a stacked team or two partial groups of friends with randoms added, etc., etc. So let's say you have three really good players that are friends playing together, and a group of three people that aren't as good. They're going to put the three randoms that are better than the other three randoms on the opposite team and help balance it out. In most cases, again, I'm not 100% sure what the algorithm is, but that's how it seems. So, being that, I'm pretty much explaining this blog post because I need something to talk about, I guess. Yeah, what it is like you go in a game. Now, let's say there's two places you could be looking. You have no other teammates around you, and you could be looking to the left flank of the entire map or towards the center. And if you choose one or the other, you don't know where the enemy is coming from. You basically have to choose what you think is best. And because there's that unknown variable, that is basically like if I say I'm going to bet this amount hoping they fold, but they might not, even though I think they will. And there's that unknown variable that definitely creates your variance, despite possibly making the best choice or what would be the best choice most of the time. So there's that similarity. And then, you know, there's so many different things like that. You know, even if my team wins, we're going to lose just as much probably, based on a whole trying to get you to be as evenly matched out as possible. Granted, in poker, you're not matched with other players based on skill, or it's not made that way, but there is that variance that is totally random in the sense that, yes, I'm a good player, but we're only going to win half the time, especially if we get stuck with the randoms against the stacked team because I'm the better player out of all 12 of us. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting blog. It goes more in depth, and it sounds a lot better than the way I'm describing it. So check it out. It's on floattheflop.com. And we're not really getting any hands. I could have played maybe 2 speculative hands, but then we'd even have less chips than we do now in most cases. Not including that nut flush, but that diamond board would have scared people easily. We might not have gotten anybody. Every other player here seems to either be tight and or reggish. Cautious. And 6 over here is super loose. We're again with Bovada, because you're playing you're playing SNGs, so people's number of hands they play versus they don't changes drastically from the beginning to the end of a game. I don't have Hold Manager set up to specify the blinds to show different stats. They play this many number of hands during these blinds, during these blinds, during these blinds. I don't do that. I probably should, but I'm trying not to rely on stats 100%. So I'm, avoiding doing that. So again, this is only 13. He could have had some good hands. I mean, he is still technically doing well, and he could have just scared people out early from early hands. Because who wants to lose a lot of chips early, right? Aside from people that don't think for just a second and lose them anyway, like myself. But yeah, we're already at 25.50. No one's out. No one's close to out. We're all around the 20M stage. So we all have 1 or 2 moves left in us each before we get short. And yeah, this is a semi-boring game. I am the nittiest one here right now. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Number 4 has only played 7% of hands. He's in the same exact boat as myself, actually. We both lost the same number of blinds. So he's played 1 hand versus 2. I think I've only played 1 hand. And but still, we haven't done anything with it post flop. So that being said, I'm trying to withhold from these speculative hands. Like every time I get a decent speculative hand, I'm always mid position, so I can't really try doing that again. The one time I did play a hand out of the 2 hands, I did that, and I had a basic. I didn't have to fold, but I did, because it was sort of the right thing to do. Most likely I wasn't going to hit a set on the flop. And they're just going to build the pot for one person. So there's no point. Here, same thing, you know. Mid position, I don't have, I don't know. Part of me wants to play it, but we're already 25-50. I better hold on to chips while I can, so I still have some room to shove with full equity. That's my rationalization, or something to that effect. But yeah, I don't know. I got this on a, oh snap. My connection seems to not be great. It keeps jumping all over the place. What is going on here? I've never seen OBS do this. The connection monitor keeps going back and forth between red, yellow, and green. Maybe it's really bad. Maybe the internet is being used up like crazy right now for no reason. Ugh, lame. I'm gonna hit play and see what it looks like. Or if it looks like anything. Maybe I'm not even streaming right now. If that's the case, that's fine. Obviously, I don't have a choice. Still nothing. Yep, let's make me watch an ad while I try to see what it looks like. Good point. Good idea. Twitch, thank you. You jackass. Alright, now it's green. I don't know what that was all about. It was going crazy, that color. Like it was, you know, it was like, it wasn't even like going directly from green, yellow, and red. It was smoothly but quickly fading in between all the different colors. Alright, let's play the preview, even though it says I'm offline. Why does it say I'm offline? Don't be a dick, Twitch. True. I'm not offline. Come on, here we go. Wow, this internet is bogging down. Ugh. Well, it does look like we're streaming. That's correct. I'm actually going to close the Twitch window, open up my OBS, and just watch the chat from there. Under the gun 6 ace, not a good hand to play, obviously. Ay, ay, ay. Time to get distracted by my phone, because I also write about politics, and people like to be dingleberries. So I gotta put them in their place, because, you know, I'm so cool. Let's see. 210. Ugh, let me check it. Please. Everybody let me walk with this 75 pot. That'd be nice. This is pretty boring. Ugh. Eventually, once I have a decent roll, the goal is that when I stream, I'll be playing multiple games, and I will just put some highlight videos together. Just like these big streamers out there. But for right now, I'm still trying to build a bankroll, so I'm playing one game. And again, I'm more worried about playing well than volume, so there you go. I do enjoy when I get into the right mindset and I literally don't have time to do anything else. That's my favorite thing. And I just go back and forth between 4 tables, just do. And the 4 tables, because that's the max at Bovada. Can't do more than 4. Oh, and they do let me check. I get a 2. So the question is, does 7 have an ace? I don't think 8 does. So I've been doing this a lot more often too. Let's do 95. Doing specific bets. I've noticed people fold more often when they know that you're being specific. And I think it has something to do with the mentality of, like, let's say $5.99 sounds better than $6. So he has an ace. Most likely. Even though he's aggressive, I think he has an ace. He doesn't raise often, so whatever. So I lost some there. I'm going to have to wait for a decent hand now to do anything. Oh, that sucks. Technically, I mean, I knew I shouldn't have done that, but I just sort of wanted to see what he was going to do, how aggressive he really was. I know the 6 can tell you something after 20 hands, but I mean, if he had an ace, how good was his ace to not have raised? Unless he had 2 pair, and unless he had, you know, a set. But if you had a set, why would you want to let somebody else that had an ace possibly not just keep betting into you? So unless you were worried, well, there's nothing to worry about. If I got a 2 pair, if I did have an ace, then he should have just let me bet into him and then put pressure on me on the river. So I do not understand. I don't think he might not have had the ace, but I really think he just had the ace. A weak one, but an ace nonetheless. And I noticed that fish either don't care that the fact that they have an ace means I have less chance of having an ace, as well as or they don't think about it at all, and it doesn't make a difference, and they're still going to bet regardless. So it's one of the two. Not much more to it than that. Let's see. But, yeah. Boring game. In last place. That's for the Sharks. They show the Sharks. I also write about... So, my blog, I try to keep it interesting, and I really should be posting more, even if it's just things that I find helpful. In terms of YouTube videos and other resources. I also write about politics. That's at facebook.com/Alex Gopian, Gopian. That's my political page. You could also Google my Amazon book, which is called Where We Stand, The Gun Control Debate, A Constructive Argument. Or facebook.com/ExtraGuardsX, which is my gaming Facebook, which I don't use that often anymore. But whatever. I figure we're going to hit a decent hand eventually. So at this point, I am not playing anything but decent hands. Unless, you know, the blinds go up like they did. So we're now at 8. We're almost in push-shove mode. We're almost in push-shove mold. That's the worst kind of mold. The black mold. The red and black mold. I can't really call with 4-2. Especially when somebody raises. Farts, man. Farts, farts, farts. I will say this. I am going to start up another game. At least help somebody else start up another game, because there's only one person in this one. In the hopes that by the time this one gets here, we'll be either out of this game or in the money, and I could easily just switch back and forth between the two. I have no issue with that. Four jack, nothing. Toots my gooch. If that's the case, I should probably set up my scene selection to work correctly. Let's do that. Let's go to this game. Scene selection. Boing. Scene switcher. Let's do this. What's the number? 1, 6, 0, 7, 5, 8, 0, 4. Oh, I didn't want that. Crud. Let's do that. There we go. I fixed it. Sort of. Alright, put that number in one more time. 1607 5804. And then game number 2 will be the other one, obviously. So make sure you choose the right one. I choose you. Charizard. 1607 5960. Okay. So now, if I click this, that happens. And until then, unless, oh no, if I click this, watch what happens. Oh, it doesn't do it. So either I did it incorrectly. That's one possibility. Crap, either case. Alright, so this guy has 10. Do we think that we could beat him? Use early. It's a decent raise. Normally here you do 2.5, maybe 3.5 because you want people to get out of the way. Yeah, you would do 3.5 here. Farts. I want to re-raise him all in, but he probably has a better pair. I think he has a higher pair. I don't think he has ace king. I think he has a higher pair, and he's hoping that an ace king or something, ace king, ace queen, raises him in or calls him. So at least he would have a slight edge on somebody out of position. Oh, there it did. It did it. It did that thing I said it would do. So that stinks. I have to undo that now because I'm dumb. So let's fix this game number 1 for right now. We're going to add this to it. So basically, you shouldn't do that anymore until... There we go. Cool. Yeah, it's a little boring game. No one's saying hello. But that's fine. I'm sort of a nobody on Twitch, obviously. Used to be somebody on YouTube. A very small somebody, but a somebody nonetheless. Oh, wow, would have flopped a full house, but that's results orientation, I guess. Orientated. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think one of these guys just has an overpair. Yeah, I think 9 had either 10s, queens. I don't know. I didn't see what they did pre-flop. And if they just limped, then I doubt that then. I think maybe he had 9s or 10s. To go all in for no reason, hoping the other guy could make a mistake. Yeah, that was weird. I think he just had another pair, hoping the other guy didn't hit. So instead of, thinking the other guy didn't hit, hoping that he wouldn't want to play and try to draw out anything, just to take the pot. So that's what I think happened. That's what I'm going to stick to and believe forever. Yep. Unfortunately, that little graph in the bottom left corner does not update as the game goes on, or the games go on. That's one thing that sort of sucks. I wish there was something cool I could do like that. I mean, I could have for Hold'em Manager open and select it on a certain part of the screen so it shows that. But yeah, Hold'em Manager is not 100% good with Bovada. You have to use this hand catcher software, which you need a license for. And even with that, whenever you get a first place, in most cases, it actually tells you got a second place, and it doesn't keep track of your money correctly. So after a bunch of correcting all my games that I got first places in, I was like, you know what, this is tedious. I'm just going to use my phone software and update the graphic at the beginning of sessions because I like it a lot more. It looks sharp. Alright, here is a weird hand. Not weird, but a weird, awkward situation for myself because we're at 8, and I just lost a big blind. So right now we're sort of at 7.3 M. So that being the case, we are pretty close to we're close enough to push shove. If a guy on the button, especially when he's, if he limps because if he raises, I don't know what I'm going to do, because he rarely raises unless he has a good hand. If he limps, I am going to re-raise him and hope he's, limping loose, which he is. He more times than not, he is. This guy, on the other hand, is he hoping that we do that? See, he's very passive. I gotta do it. He's very tight, so I mean that was pretty standard for him to fold there. Trying to sneak in there and get some action, because he's almost as low as I am in terms of hands played. And he's starting to hurt chip wise. See, that was a nice jump, and that was like almost 30%, a little more than 30% maybe. I didn't see what my original stack was, so I think that was the best play. If this guy at 9.2 had something, I think he would have min raised. And if he min raised, then I would probably have just called. His min raise, the aces would be blockers, and I'd be hoping for a jack. And if no other high cards came out, I would hope that my hand was best. I don't know what I would do. I might fold in that case. I mean, no one's out yet. We're far away from the bubble. So, yeah, I don't know what I'd do right there. But regardless, I think that was the best play, with him only limping. I mean, people can easily limp and think somebody's going to re-raise him, but he has no reason to believe I think I have a good hand, and I will re-raise him unless I had position. And if I had position, I'd be more inclined to do that. I'd be more inclined to re-raise him all in to either isolate, get him out of the hand, even if my hand's not as good as his or is just as good as his. Every bet, 3, 4, or 5 bet is potentially, statistically will more likely be a better hand the farther you go, or it's at least supposed to seem that way. But anyway, King Jack on the button, and the blinds went up. Ugh. Oh, I don't know. Something tells me that, our other game began. So now, this is what this means. We go like this. We go doodle-doo. We're going to fix these. So this will go up in this corner. Make it tiny. This will go right here. And then come back over here. We fix these settings on the scene switcher. No, we have to do something. Yeah, no, I think he's got an ace. So there's no point in doing anything. We might be able to move these a little bit better. There we go. Took a little while to set this up so that, well, let's say I did a session, I started with the 4 games already going to keep the stream more interesting. Oh no, look what I did. I got rid of my little thingy there. That's okay. I'll figure it out again. Onto the gun, limp from the net. He's hoping somebody raises all in, I think. I can't do it. It's too much of my stack. 10%. Let's go ahead and fix this. Let's add my thingy here. Supposedly you can copy this. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's try that again. Can I copy, order, project, preview? No. Add. Global source, graph, right? Sure. Holy crap, that's big. Here's that. Did on 1, and now let's do it on 2. I gotta save it too. Global source. Graph. And it's gigantic. I tried clicking on the stream window. Wow. Whoopsie-daisy. I tried clicking the stupid preview screen. That doesn't work. This is going to be a little off. I'm going to have to fix this and make it permanent and the same on all of them. Because I like this down here. I had it on the right side originally, but yeah, that's a pain in the tuchus. So, pain in the tuck. Sure, save. There we go. Ace Queen. Hopefully this second game is going to be a little more interesting. And I could go ahead and add Ace Queen on both tables. Good. We're at 6. I think we go all in here. There's a lot of people behind us, but who the hell knows? Hopefully he doesn't have Ace King. He's a rock. This is not good. Most likely just has a pair, though. On this hand, we will go ahead and just do that. I think he just has a pair. I don't think he has aces or kings. Because why would he raise all in? And, you know, he's trying to get people out. Unless he has ace king, he's hoping that. Now, this is interesting. He had less. No, he had 7.5. His jacks. So we have a chance and we got it. No jack. Thank you very much. There's the one flip you really need to, especially when people are playing this. I don't want to say tight, but they're being very cautious. I mean, I wonder, like in tournaments, I wonder if you. I really wish you could, you know, have. I'm in position against 3 players. Let's just do 100, just a little over half. We could possibly get these guys out, but no. He's either drawing or he has a 9. He called, though. He called the raise. I don't think he has it. So 2 was nothing. Is he going to donk out? Again, I don't have any stats on him or anything, and so he donks out here. Well, not donks. Did he take... I forget if he took the initiative on it. He's afraid of the spades. I think he has a 9. Yeah, I'm going to have to throw this away. That's a damn shame. Let's see. Let's go ahead and raise this to 400. People really respond well to a slightly higher than min. And that's good too. You know, he's all in. He's probably got another pair. Or ace jack or something. Let me get this going. I know I'm blocking, I'm sorry. Not really the best time, I suppose. And I knocked him out. He did have ace 10. Glad he didn't have ace jack, like I said. Yeah, there goes one of the more aggressive but tight taggies, tag peoples. We are in first place. It took that long to find that out. Damn it. I'm so glad I got used to OBS and figured out this whole scene switching thing, because otherwise it would have just been a pain in the butt. Otherwise. But I'm also glad we have 2 windows going. I am doing well on this first one, and the second one we haven't even played really yet, so stream's a little more interesting. I think this will be a video. I think I will put this up on YouTube's. Not just because I did well, because I have streamed in the past and not put it on YouTube because I didn't do well, and I don't think it would have helped anyone in any sense. It would have showed you how to tilt, basically, and how to start playing stupid because you talk too much and got too distracted. I don't know. That was awesome, though. 1-2 punch on that guy. And now we just got to be very cautious and not lose a stack. What do you think's going to happen? Well, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, I doubt you got this far, unless you did, which is a stupid non-point. But, you know, what place do you think I'm going to get? Before you get to the end of this game, can you write down what place you think I'll get? And then that way, you can't say, oh, I really thought you were going to get this other place. See, it's already like, it'll be like proof, like the psychic who puts his prediction in an envelope. Not going to play out of position with Queen 8 off. That would be silly. Super silly. Would be really cool if I won both of these and went straight to Funky Town, which is hit 231 on my bankroll. And if I did, I would then, my next stream would be $7 triple ups, which, you know, is the same reward with a slightly higher risk. You're spending $2 more. You're risking $2 more to get close to the same outcome. So really, it's about $4 off. No, $3 off in terms of profit, but you don't have to get first place. All you have to do is get third place, which is awesome. You save a little time, you get close to the same results, and I don't know, it's a little less pressure. Now, I enjoy the end game probably more than anything, unless I'm trying to do something and I'm multitasking. But that being aside from the point, I don't know. Why didn't I play these fives? I know I'm under the gun and I probably would have gotten raised, but oh, there's a raise. Okay. Maybe that was why. Maybe that's exactly the reason I gave myself, because I was probably going to get raised. Good reason to not do it, I guess. That was one of my leaks. I've so far, you know, concluded. I played too many speculative hands way out of position in the hopes that no one will raise. And when somebody does, you know, I hope to start a train and it never pans out. And by the time I can tell that people are more willing to start trains, limping trains, it's already higher blinds, so I'm not even going to be playing a lot of certain speculative hands. So, you know. I do post probably more so on my Facebook page for Float the Flop, which can be found at facebook.com/floattheflop.com. Float the Flop, not .com. It's Facebook. I'm not going to play this either. Two people in better position. I mean, that would have been nice. An inside straight draw. Yeah, both. Well, not inside. I'm sorry. A double innie outie. Jack 3 over her. Easy fold. Yeah, there's way too many players. Even without too many players, it's not a good hand to play early. Damn, I wonder what that guy had. I'm not tilting on it, but the guy, did he have the 9? Did he have a pair? I mean, my other biggest leak is, you know, trying to bluff people with air, pretty much. Hoping they don't have something, hoping they're bluffing, so my bluff might work on them. It's really dumb. Well, this is an interesting hand. Yep. One person's barely still in, and, well, 2 people. We have our second place guy, or what seems to be our second place guy. Supposedly he's a lag. Not pre-flop, but, you know, post-flop he's pretty aggressive. Easy fold. 4-9 suited. The button raised. 3-bet for isolation. I mean, he's pretty much committed. You know, 200 out of 1090. I wonder what he has. Maybe we'll see. if player 8 has the queen, they're not going to give it up. I think they will call. I have diamonds, so they have less chance of having diamonds. So I don't think he's going to go on a draw, especially an expensive one to win just a little bit more. So, yeah, look at that. That was interesting. He knew there's way too many things that could be beating him easily. Oh, that was an interesting non-hand. What actually happened there? That was one pair, three of a kind. So he doubled up and survived, and the extra dead money. Yeah, somebody else's dead money. He's right, 200. All right, so this no. This guy could easily re-raise me and make me lose half my chips for no reason. Thank you, taking those extra 3 seconds to decide not to do that. I mean, if I was closer to the button and 5 or 3 here were after me, I would easily put them all in without a doubt, but yeah, I like my twice average stack. And I'm a nit. Normally I don't appear as a nit or as a rock with the Hold'em Manager identifications, which I don't think are that incredibly accurate. You are able to change them based on your own preferences. Ace Jack. If it folds to me, I will play. He limped under the gun. He's playing very loose. So I think I'm going to have to raise him. Standard 3 times plus limp. People like this guy, I've seen them very often slow play awesome hands. And even 3-bet from that position. 3-bet, yeah. So he calls. He doesn't have 7-2, but he has something. So I think we check just to limit the pot. Does he have a king? That's a good question. I don't think he does. For a limp under the gun, I think he would have done a nice large raise, especially when he's decent. Is he meant to scare us with this? You know what? He easily scares me with that. 90 to 1 through 75. Ugh. With a limp, he could have ace queen, ace king, jack king. Still has his beat. So, but 90 is so small. Folding it anyway. We're about to lose in total a third of our stack, and he could have that. That's fine. He's so loose, he could have had the 7s or the 2s. You never freaking know. That was, I don't know. So I pretty much have to call as long as someone raises like crazy. I mean, I could see somebody raising all in just for the dead money, but if not, definitely calling. King Queen is nice. Another limper. If this is the case, I do want position, so I am going to do this again. And this time I hope I hit. There is the person who does raise all in, and what happens? We had the same hand. That's pretty funny. So nothing would have happened. I'm glad he raised all in, so we didn't have to figure that one out. We are getting closer to the bubble. 2 players to the bubble. Does 4 call again? Does he do it? If he bluffed before and he did it well, he might be inclined to, even if he doesn't have great cards, because he thinks he could get away with it again. 8, on the other hand, not as loose, not as aggressive. Limped because he has a decent, probably has a pair. There's a quick check. So it could be a quick fake check, it could be whatever. We're going to bet 140. And take it. Thank you very much. I'm putting him on Broadway and a low pair that he missed the set on. So he either thinks we have overcards and too many other cards could have had him beat easily. Even though he likely didn't have anything else on the board, we could have easily had a higher pair. And again, I wonder, I wish this was like PokerStars and you could find out what they had. Because like if I go and hit this hand reviewer, for one, I can't make it smaller, which is a gosh darn shame. Yeah, doesn't let you see what he had. I wonder when PokerStars added that, the ability to do that, to instantly see what they mucked if you replayed it. I wonder if they did that because enough people complained and worried about collusion or something. Because at least if you looked at hands and you were worried about collusion, you could say, that guy would normally not fold that hand. Why did he do it? And then somebody could report and say, hey, look, this guy is folding really decent hands against this one specific player. What the hell's going on? And there you go. Get rid of some bad players, some losers. I mean, their systems are designed to notice that ahead of time, to notice automatically collusion, people that play together too often and stuff like that, people that have exceptionally good results. So, I don't know. You'd hope that that stuff works. You never know. We're in second place out of 6 people, and we're in near last place over here, but that doesn't really mean much. With only one person out. And a decent enough stack to still scare anybody. Just about anybody. Yeah, I don't think 8 would be willing to call an all-in with okay hand. A lot of the stuff I say sounds very amateur. It sounds very obvious, but to me, it's what I got to be doing to, stay on top and make sure I'm thinking about all the right things and reasoning everything correctly. So does somebody re-raise me here with ace-jack, even if I min-raise, whether I do whatever. Everybody has a decent-sized stack, so the question is, let's do, see, if I'm going to raise, it's going to be like 500, because that'll help scare people away, but then they re-raise me all in, and I can't call, and there's just a loss of chips for no reason. And I would have the odds. If I put 500 in, somebody goes all in for another 500, I'm stuck in this hand, and it's not worth losing that many chips. If I, and I could have, I would have showed weakness if I limped in, so, yeah. If I was in a big blind, it would be a lot better. Because then I could wait and see and make a call, which isn't for as many chips, as if it was just a normal call. 10 king. Oh, what to do with 10 king? Obviously, I check. Everybody's like, this guy's push off. Everybody except myself, 7, and 9 are in push shove. And I say that, them consider, knowing better or not knowing better. So I'm gonna fold here. I'm gonna show the king. So, not that they think I'm tight, but if he had an ace, he'll know that I know what I'm doing. He probably had a better kicker than me. So I'm not worried about it. Here, Jack 8, gonna call this. He min raised, and he's doing the same bet again. So I don't think he's got anything. He did raise though, and he's pretty tight aggressive. It's a very small bet. So and I have nothing, so there's no point. Let's fold. Alright. So we are losing chips. The blinds went up yet again. Everybody's hurting. This is like full push up for everybody. 7-9's an easy call. Eventually I'm going to start stealing with shoves. Here I'm going to make a 80 bet. Slightly more than half. With the flush draw. And he probably doesn't have an ace. He might, but he doesn't. So I take that one down. Here, I think I'm better than this guy. So and since yeah, let's go all in. Now this might seem stupid. Hopefully none of these guys have something. He might call, whether he has something or not. And 9, I think, will fold, especially if he calls. So, let's steal some chips. Even here, I have really good equity. I mean, he's not going to want to call. And we're back to 3,000. Yay for the steal. I put together a blog yesterday, well, last night, maybe this very early this morning, and I fixed the logo again. My blog, fiance wanted to start a new blog. She had a pretty popular blog in California about horror things, movies, collectibles, stuff like that, and it got pretty popular. And then her and a friend, after going to Comic-Con this past week, or coming back this past week, wanted to get back into blogging, but they wanted to start something new. So I helped them come up with a name, and I helped put together the logo. And it's just 3 different fonts done a certain way. But it's going to be pretty cool, I think. And we're going to be talking about anything nerdy, not just horror, despite the theme. And it's called thenerdhorde.com. And yeah, I think I'll be blogging about video games a little bit on there. So yeah, I mean, she originally made a WordPress.com account, and then I was like, well, I have hosting, I can get you a domain for pretty reasonable, and you know, why not? So we could control it better, we could allow multiple users, we don't have to share passwords and usernames. Let's just do that. And yeah, so that's up. It just doesn't have any content yet. Hopefully goes well. The logo, I really like the logo. I really like it a lot. Jack 9, I could see 8 going all in again. He knows push, shove. Push, shove. I mean, fold, shove, fold, fold, shove. This guy can easily go in. He's under 1M. This guy raised us. I think we're going to re-raise him. Let's do 400. Slightly more. I can do 3 times. We want him to call. And hopefully hit. And if he re-raises us, I'm thinking aces and kings. And then I could easily get out and try to work my way back. So we're not going to be doing this. This guy doesn't want to go all in, but I think that's just incite a bet back. That could have been an easy steal. Here, the guy called. I think he has ace-king as well. So we're going to go all in. I don't think he has the hand. I think that is enough fold equity to get him out and get our chips back. And it is. Thank goodness. I say thank goodness. I mean, either way, if we win one of these two, even if we don't, if we get second place in either one, we're still positive for the session. So I'm not worried about it. I'm okay with small, you know, whatever, increases. In that graph, it shows a poor, or that lull there, and that lull killed my ROI. That whole lack of confidence / downswing tilty thing. So my ROI was around 30% for a while, up until that specifically happened, and it's going back up. The lowest I've hit, I think, was 10%, maybe 9.8 something percent. And 10% is considered good generally, you know. Again, that's probably for multi-tablers for the most part. But you know, a winner's a winner. And if we keep winning, because I've only been negative altogether once for my starting bankroll at the beginning of this challenge. And this first challenge is going to be the final reset, basically, the final countdown. I'm going to do a min bet here just to put the guy all in. We have a decent hand to do that with. Hopefully, he might have an ace, and we'll still have a good chance against it. If he doesn't, we have probably have him dominated. He has to call, and he hits. We have a chance with the diamond, and we don't get it. I got 2 pair too. Well, whatever. That is what it is. We had the way better hand, and oh well. I mean, when I say way better, it was I think it was what, 60, 40, something like that. His wasn't suited, I don't think it was. What did he have? Yeah, no, he wasn't suited either. That was the right play, though, because we weren't going to lose more than that. More times than not, we would have been higher, had a better chance. And, you know, we're all pretty equal. No one has a crazy advantage on anybody else. I mean, I did let this guy stay in longer, but it is what it is. And one of these guys might be out right now, so I don't know why he did that. So we are closer, though. That's nice. Closer to the bubble. The bubble. Where I make most of my mistakes. Not because it's like a bad shove, but because, well, I mean, this is a bad shove, but not because I think it's a good shove. It's because I make a bad shove knowing it's a bad shove. For stupid, stupid reasons. Let's see. Almost going up to 150 on the second table. Oh, here we go. He's got his 3. No ace, no jack. And he's out. He's out, 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 out. But we're still in push shove. Everybody else. Fold shove. Gosh darn it. If the blinds get past me, whether or not I make any chips on them, oh, well, he might be out now too. Number 8 has all the reason in the world to call with almost any 2 cards. I think 8 knows what he's doing too, so there's the call. Ooh, wow. Talk about luck. Well, I guess we're all just about even now. In fact, I think I'm the short stack. I helped him do that. I helped him get there. Oh well. He might have a little confidence. He's going to raise here, I think. I don't think go all in against a short stack. No. Okay. 8 probably doesn't want to lose anything. He probably has a confidence hurt, but he does go all in anyway. Budge, so he's has enough confidence. He's only 300. Yeah. Okay. He's trying to tilt me. That's fine. Doesn't bother me. I want to be the one to go all in and put somebody else on that decision. That is the key. And this guy being a rock too, you know, it's going to make it easier for when I do hit a hand. If he's in the blind or does limp, I can, you know, knock him off the hand with a decent shove. There would have folded a open-ended straight draw. 310 on the button. That's an easy fold. Even though we're in a nice place to start stealing, you know, I don't know these players. This player's tight, but this guy I can see calling. Wow, all ins. Wow, he folded the full house. I would have got my straight, but I would have been demolished. That's what happens. That's what you get, man. That's what you get. That's funny. Alright, for queen. It's a fold, especially the min raise. I do need a double up here. I don't think anybody's going to get crazy. The blinds are up to 250, 500 now, so I really, in these next 3 hands, have to make a decision and get there. 7-6 actually would have been an okay hand to do that with. Not saying that, you know, in the sense of, you know, they're connected, not suited, which doesn't help, but this is an all-in hand here. You know, we're really just hoping that even if they have an ace, we make it. Even if they have a pair, we make it. And we get it. There we go. No one wants to lose that many chips out of a decent-sized stack. It does suck that we lose it right away, though, with these blinds. But it is what it is. Yeah, of course. I'll show you my shitty hand. Yeah, you made the right play, you dingleberry. Why can't we just get to pass the bubble already and then have fun? Why can't we? Yeah, see? He's not going to be afraid of my shove. I can't really go into his stack and think I'm going to do anything against them. Unless, of course, he has some rags, but even though that's, what, 1 to 2/3, or half to 2/3 of the time. Because here in the bubble, he's not going to care so much. Unless he's really going for first, which he, of course, is probably, but even then, he wants to get me out if possible, especially if he is involved. And now the antes have been begun. This sucks. I'm all in this next hand. But, you know, I can make it. Who knows? I think I've only made 1 or 2 big mistakes. And when I say big, I mean they were small, but led to this being the situation. Oh, perfect! This is absolutely perfect. All in to put pressure on me. No, damn it. And they walk me. What a bunch of assholes. They knew I was going to go all in, and he had nothing. If 6 had anything, he would have gone all in. I think I have to go all in here, though, too. Even just with the king. Hoping that the big stack doesn't have anything. It's really just a hope and a dream. And it worked. And now we're not the short stack anymore. For now. We will be again, but more cases than not. Still nothing going on over here. That fold was easy. Would have 2 pair, but not that it matters. Would have been a shorter pair than probably, or 2 pair probably. If somebody had a queen and something. Yeah, look at that. So he was in that hand, and he's now down to 12. So I think there's an easy fold. We're not going to get involved here, especially if he just re-raises us all in. And number 7 has so many chips, he's willing to limp in hopes that somebody goes all in against him. Or I wonder what he has. Maybe 10s? Does he have 10s? I could see a call here. Oh, yeah. He has 10s. Oh, 4 ace. Oh, my goodness. But he gets there with the flush. And I'm still no better off because the guy's still in the hand. But that was pretty good. That was a good... you didn't put him on having... Ooh. I can't call. It sucks. I'm just going to fold this time. I'm not going to show him my 3 or a 10. That sucks. Damn it. Why did he have to get the clubs? Yeah, I'm just going to limp. Because I think he's going to limp too. And he doesn't. You know what? All in because I have to. I know this is a shitty hand, but I have to hope to get there. And do I? Not. No, I don't. Ah, 1 spade off. What a waste of time. That should have been all in on there, but he had the ace and he would have kept it. We're so low on chips. That's a damn shame. Damn. So I wouldn't say that was a mistake necessarily. Yeah, it didn't work out and it was a shitty hand, and I could have still lasted maybe with the way the chips were moving around. Oh well. So let's pay attention to this game. That works. Don't you just love it when somebody... Oh, never mind. I take that back. I thought somebody blocked me on Facebook for a political post, but they didn't. Ace-4. Oh, we're getting there again. We're getting to that time. We're just under average. Let's see. Damn, that stunk. We would have been there if he didn't make the flush. He had the outs, but against a set that he wasn't afraid of. For obvious reasons, it was a 4 and a 7, I think. 2 4s and a 7. Maybe it was, yeah, I think it was 2 4s and a 7. And he had ace-4. Just, ugh. He's playing pretty loose, too. Not necessarily for that situation. That was, you know, he had an ace in 4 ways, but ugh. Could have been out. Granted, he wouldn't have made the play he did. Well, no, he would have. It's just a matter of hoping that the club didn't come. But oh well. If you see anything wrong with that hand there, let me know. Or not that hand, that game. I think I bet into multi-way pots, maybe 3 and 2 ways, that I shouldn't have, to see from early, to see what they had, but then got called anyway. There's so many players out there, and without enough information, he could have easily been the loose passive player that, you know, he ended up looking like. Oh well. 3 king. Raise. Can't play it. Yeah, I shouldn't be playing it anyway. But we're back to push fold. It is nice that we went from that one game where we were 4 ways to a game that we're now just 6 ways. We're not waiting an incredible long time for anything. This is a pretty unspectacular second game. I think that's going to be the end of the stream after this is done. Farts, man. Farts all day. And this is one reason why I want to go to cash and to multi-table, because multi-table, I feel a lot more comfortable multi-table. I'm going to be less swingy. I'm totally okay with not winning, you know, when there's such small stakes compared to my bankroll. Blinds went up. Let's see what happens. He raised for 300. You know, I got to pay more attention to what these people are showing down with, so I could see how loose they are. 3 games ago, I saw somebody had limped in from early position. Actually, I'm sorry, they didn't limp in. They called a min raise from early position. That was 3-6 offsuit in the 50-25 blinds. And it was like, what are you thinking, guy? Alright, so I don't have the implied odds here, even though I want to play a hand. So yeah, he ended up being exactly the player I thought he'd be. Took first. I got knocked down from our second hand together with I had king 7, he had king 2, and we both had a king on the flop. It was king, jack, and I think a 5. And that being the case, he a 9 came on the turn, and I didn't think to myself that, oh, the 9's greater than both our 7 and our 2, so right now we're chopping. I didn't think of that. So, of course, I raise for no reason, and he goes all in. I call, and he hits one of his 3 outs for the 2, so now I'm down to 490-something chips. And he then, you know, went on to do well. I went in on my next 1 or 2 hands with king 2, I think, because I didn't want to wait 3 hands with the blinds down at 5100 to lose a quarter of my chips hoping for an ace or a better king or a pair. So that being said, went all in and made the hand. Then I played to my left called. To my left or the second to the left, I don't know. So yeah, it sort of was weird. Eventually, it was 4 ways. He was on the button. I was a small blind. I had ace 6 spades. I called. I lumped in with everybody, 3 of us out of the 4. And he, I limped, or I checked. Next player checked. He goes all in because I think he's a short stack at this point. Maybe not. Maybe it was a second short stack. And I hit the nut flush on the flop. Goes all in. I call. Obviously he's out. So it was pretty interesting to see that with his showdown cards. So that's another reason why I only want to play one game at a time. Now here, the end of the bubble, this second game didn't bug me at all, especially with not much going on. So not worried about that. Again, I'm glad we're just going right into another game. But yeah. Fiance's at work. The kiddo and her grandmother are visiting the grandfather at the rehab center for his hip surgery. We went to go see Ghostbusters this morning. Not 3D. The fiance and I already saw it in 3D, and then we brought the little one this time. Even though she jump scared so many times. It was really, really cute, actually. 14 pre-flop raise. Still, he's got me beat, especially for 3 times. So I don't know. It's good morning. Good afternoon. I gotta do the lawn tomorrow. What else is going on? My wallet's lost. Lost it at a Dunkin' Donuts who turned it into a police department. And because the detective probably picked it up and put it in the evidence locker, I can't pick it up until Monday. That's fun. Especially since Monday I have to go. Alright, so we're in full shove here. I got 10s. So this is a shove. I don't think anybody else is going to call. Maybe player 4 at the most because he's a big blind and he has a nice stack. And we get this guy to call too. So he's got, I'm thinking ace, yeah, ace king. Please don't. I have the 10s. No ace king. No ace king. Thank you very much. Talk about some blockers for the straight. Oh man. But again, there's that one hand you really need, especially if you're not doing anything in the early game. The one flip. The one flippity doo dah. And that's where that 50% comes in. If you're doing well, so for instance, I cash between 28 and 32% of the time, which is less than half. So if there's a coin flip in there somewhere, and that coin flip is deciding whether I have a really good chance of cashing or not, or going out even, then that's where that 50% threshold really is, where you're not expected to win 50% of the time. There are going to be some flips in there, hopefully only 1, maybe 2. Again, those flips are going to happen more towards the after the bubble, hopefully if you did well early. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. See, another issue I have, another leak kind of thing, is where I look at my stack and I look at the blinds and I say, oh man, this is bad. This is really bad. And I get down on myself. But then I don't look at everybody else's stack. I don't say, out of 5 players, I'm in second place. This isn't so bad. People have it worse than me and are feeling more pressure than me. So this really is all about perspective and, yeah, pretty much. Let him go. I'll take it. Ooh, so I don't think he has an ace. So I'm going to bet 175. Into this guy. 175. That 5 throws people off, I swear. I know it does. A little more than half, he's like, yeah, he's trying to get some value out of me. So he doesn't have an ace, and he throws it away. I think he might have had clubs. He might have had a draw, but it would have been too much out of his stack for him to feel good about anyway. Or even then, maybe he just had the straight draw, and still he didn't want to make a big pot. Or maybe he had a 9 or an 8. You never know. Or 10s. Or 6s. I love when people in videos like I was doing earlier, but most other people, because I don't normally do it, you know, just list off 3, 4 random hands a person might have to make a play or not make a play. And it's like, well, yeah, they could. There's a lot more hands they could have had too, you know, in that position based on what they did. On the button here against a big stack, I am going to raise. Here, let's see. This will be 153. Let's say 350. You want a little bit more than I'm in. Thank you very much. Oh, I don't want to call that a steal. I think I had the best hand. That is what I think, and that's what I shall think forever. Alright. So, if I only get 3rd place, I lost a couple dollars. If I get 2nd place, I won a couple dollars. If I, well, how much would it? I won like $250. If I get 1st place is what I want. Put that energy out there. Not that I believe in that, but I'm going to do it anyway, just in case it's true. You know, I pray to every religion, every god, just in case one of them is true. And then, yeah. Hopefully we get that 1st place and double our investment and help bring our ROI up. Not that the stat itself matters, but results actually matter. Too early to play this offsuit connector, Broadway. I forget if 10 counts as Broadway technically. Let's see. Queen 4 off. Big blind. Limp and go again, buddy? Why, certainly. I have no issue with that because I have, you know, he's not going to hit most times. He's looking to hit, but he's trying to do it cheaply. And the question is, does he take initiative or not? In both cases, I think he more so checks than anything. But if he bets out, I don't think he has anything. Because, I mean, I'm going to check with anything, but he's sure he has something. So I fold. Ace 8. I like the idea of going all in on this guy. Because, you son of a gun. I think I got you beat, though. I think that's a steal attempt, and I think I've beat number 5 out. So, we're going to try. And maybe we'll be crippled. But it's going to help solidify our later game. I wouldn't say that was a great steal attempt, but I think that with 5 people, 2s are definitely not something you want to be flipping on. Even though, you know, maybe flip on them heads up 3 ways, but not 5 ways. That is awkward though. Why would he? Was he just trying to steal the 2s and then have showdown value that he wasn't going to go for anyway? If you're not going to go for the showdown value and call a re-raise, then why raise anyway? I mean, that was really all it was. It was trying to steal and then no plans to call with 2s. So it was pretty much a bluff since he wasn't willing to do it. I mean, he didn't have the implied odds to get a set, you know. It's not like a pair of 5s, and even if it was, you could still limp in and hope that we didn't have great hands to raise him on. So I really don't think he's that great of a player. Now we're here on the bubble. this is the deciding factor. This is where we don't want to repeat mistakes, especially since we do have a very short stack, a slightly worse stack. I mean, if you were to ratio this out, it's 1 to 2 to 3.5 to 6. So, nice raise here. I could call. I have an ace blocker and a possible flush, but it's too much of my stack. It was a good bet size. He was targeting 4 specifically, which is, but still, you do that knowing the other person might have a hand. Only one time ever have I called with 2-7 and flopped the 2-7 full house, and it was so worth it. Actually, I didn't flop the whole thing. I got it on the next hand. I had a 2 pair. Not next hand, on the turn. And, you do that for that specific reason. Polaroids, make it seem like you're looser when you sort of technically are. But you have no issue folding, those hands. And when you do make it, people have no idea that you made it. That's the whole purpose. Fives. Interesting. I do not know what to do with fives. All in. Do I call and flip for an all in? There would be no reason to. So, yeah, not calling. Here, I'm already here in second place. I'm going to show you. I have fives, and I'm not allowed to. This is a little different than me showing twos, as the other guy did, because one, I have more chips, and I could easily have called him, but and showing him it was a flip really holds no purpose aside from letting him know, yeah, you stole, but you could have been threatening yourself here. So him still being at 5.3, I'm gonna go ahead and just min raise. I had a nice delay in there, so maybe he thinks I have something. And here we're gonna put 250, a little more than half. Again, that 5 helps, I think, scare people. And all in, so that didn't exactly scare him off, and that's fine. Again, that's just like that example I gave you, where there might be an enemy coming from this door, that door, which one do you look at, the reasons why you think one's better than the other, and you take it, and then hopefully the guy doesn't come through the other door and get you in the back. That's just, there's that luck factor there where you hope you're making the best choice. In long term, maybe that would have worked long term for me. I didn't bet much, is my point. The blind still will kill these guys off, or at least one of them off before, as long as I don't go crazy from this point on. It's 6, easy fold. Nine king. He has a decent stack now. He doubled up-ish. He didn't really double up, but he took a small pot. Yeah, I think we're gonna just steal his blinds here. He thinks he can get away with the limp and go after a while, so might as well take it. And granted, yeah, I risked a lot, but I mean, most cases, I think I had a better hand than him. So, and here, same thing. I think the limp and go might work this time around. And I don't think he has anything, otherwise he would have raised. So we're going to do the same exact amount as we did before. Because when you do something twice and you make one decision one way, there's something in the back of people's minds being like, why is he doing the exact same thing? He's not trying a different tactic. Maybe that's because he thinks, and it adds that reverse psychology a little bit. Here, because of this guy's raise, it's a min raise, we're going to definitely put them all in. Now, I think maybe that was not the best choice. Maybe I should have called. Maybe somebody else would have called too. And yeah, I would have lost the chance for this to work with ace-king. But you never know. No hearts, no jack, and we're good to go. We'd made it. We're close to first place, past the bubble. So I think that was a marginal-ish play. Yeah, I didn't want somebody else in there, but I could easily just called. Or not called, but I could have raised just his amount in and not gone all in myself, which would have let people induce, and maybe they would have maybe would have had the same effect, you know. Instead of committing to it, maybe it would have just given me a greater chance of not having to risk it against other players. It's a matter of fold equity versus, you know, whether or not they believe I want them in or not. If they think I don't want them in, but they have a pair, I don't know. You know, there's a lot of different degrees of mental games going on. So we're going to do 500 here. I think it's enough to get both of them off the hands. If Ford goes all in, I'm calling. He doesn't. 6, he could. No, he doesn't either. It's just enough more. If I min raise, which I normally do because I don't play around with the keyboard because I'm playing off my phone in TeamViewer, you know, a min raise doesn't do much, and then you have to bet more, and it's not great. So easy fold on a 6-9 from that all in. We're not at the point yet where we'll call with anything. I think he'll go all in again if I just limp. So 9-4 is nothing to show down with. Not being at that point, like I said. A fold here. He might go all in. No. I think people get more scared of the other big stacks versus me in a lot of cases because they think of me as a little more loose. They're a little more scared of the person that had a stack from a lot of the game or a greater stack for a longer time. That fear stays with them versus this idea in the back of their mind that this person just got lucky, for instance, as one way of looking at it, if that's the way they, you know, perceived it. And if not, whatever. Not worried about it. I really hope this sounds good in the recording, because if it doesn't, let's see, look at this. It's actually doing a little more than what I did. It's smart, though. The antes aren't there, so I'm not worried about it. When I even antes come next, I believe. I will fold with bad hands. That's how I play. Yeah, I'm going to fold, and I'll show you why. I think at this point, folding and showing rags a couple times lets people know that you're not willing to, you know, play anything stupid or crazy. Even if a lot of people know better. For instance, I will do 550 here. And let him know that I noticed his bet sizing. My dick's bigger than his. But does he have the 10? 10 ace? 10? No, I don't think he does. I'm not going to lose here. That's a very small amount. I don't think he's dumb. So, and I think that he's looking for a spade. So what I'm going to do is this. Let's just go to 650. See what he does. Is he willing to pay 650? I mean, that's a huge pot. He only has to pay 400 more to see a spade. Goes all in thinking he might pick up a spade. I think he has it. He has spades, I believe. It doesn't show. It's a shame. Not a shame. I think it was more of seeing where it was. See whether that was a bluff or semi-bluff. And this is where things get a little iffy. I could have held on to that a little longer, but I'm letting this guy catch up on fourth by me losing those chips. I didn't have to make that play. I probably, you know, shouldn't have. Again, I'm learning. So, farts on me. He doesn't know that I do limp and go often, but let's do 350 and hope for the best. I don't think he has sixes. So let's triple barrel him, and then let's do... At this point, yeah, we're going to total shove fold. but with that extra 6, it definitely served as a nice scare card. Because, I mean, I would have raised with ace-king, right? So why would I still be raising into that hand under the suspicion that he didn't have an ace or a king? And that's why. Here we're going to do 800. And hopefully he goes all in. If he goes all in, I'll call. Even if it has a pair. And he doesn't. So my fold equity was good. In terms of bet sizing, anyway. Again, if I min-raised, I don't think I would have got him off the hand. Another good hand to have. Let's see if he raises into me thinking he has something. If it's a decent raise, I'm going to go all in, I think. Let's actually let him 3-bet again. Or rather, 5-bet. 4-bet? 5-bet? I forget. Not counting. All in? I will call your all in guy. Or you just lose 700. I will give you the chance to make the mistake. Oh, I mean, I would have made it an easier decision if I went all in. I think. I don't think he would have said, oh, he's trying to get me off the hand. Because you could easily also say he's trying to make as much money off of me calling mistakenly. So to only do just less than 3 times, especially with the pot and the dead money that was there, I think that was the best play. Maybe I could have done a smaller bet. I don't know what I'm doing. You know. So the more I talk, the more I think I make sense. Yeah, like I said, 2s are okay here. Because most times other players are not going to have a pair. Another pair or ace. He's at 4.9, but I don't think that's enough to do a shove with nothing. So that's okay. I'll let him have that one. We're almost in first. Well, we are in first until this hand here, because of blind and ante. Hoping he doesn't have anything, we will limp and go. And again, he's super aggressive now. He only has 1 ace. He does hit the 6. That sucks. And I make the 10. Nice. That's good. Now, I knew I was probably not doing well, but it was a chunk of my stack. And at this point, do I want to have a good chance to win, or do I want to lose some chips, lose a portion of my stack, and still be in the game? He was so aggressive that I had to do something. I didn't have to. I take that back. It's a bad use of words. So what does he do? He's going to check this. He's not going to have anything. I'm going to let him bet. And he's not going to have anything. So I'm going to bet a little bit. I want to bet 400. It is a min bet. I could probably gotten away with more, but that's fine. $7-4. We're going to just do a 650. He's not at push fold necessarily. I mean, there is the dead money, so maybe he is. To him, yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, we're going to fold that. So he's not afraid. We figured maybe we're on the button. We know that we have some advantage, and that's why we raised. Maybe I should try with a smaller raise. Maybe I shouldn't have raised a little bit more than min with what he has, stack-wise. This time, yeah, let's just do a min raise this time. There is enough dead money in the middle to make it worth his while. And this time, let's do 700. About 2/3. Two bluffs or 2 raises Unless he has the hand, and he probably does here. Fudge. So now I gotta tighten up a little bit. That sucks. Can't really use the button if he's not afraid. And I think he had the hand there. It gave him a little more confidence to do that. But we are going to go back to doing 700. See, I'm not necessarily good at the math or the cards. I like to think that in the back of my mind, I'm able to feel how they're feeling about the situation and how they perceive things. So this min raise could easily hit something. I'm out of position, so we're going to try and get out of this hand. It's going to continuation bet. I'm going to fold. He really doesn't have anything. I think we have something here. So we're going to actually do a nice 700 bet again. There's little to no draws for him at this point. And even a pair of nines could scare him. So that was good. By good, I mean it worked. And here we're going to do 700 again. Just a little more than min. Part of me wants to go to 750. But if that's working, we don't really have to. Here, if you, yeah, wow, it's just going to walk us now because he knows that he's not doing so hot. He doesn't want to lose even any kind of chunk of the stack he has. Here, I'm going to let him know that I can fold hands. I'm not going to go with everything. I'll let him walk because I probably have rags, and that's going to happen. If he starts to believe I'm pushing with rags, he's going to fight back. So, and then if he thinks I have rags, that's fine too, especially if I don't. I think it might get an all in. Yeah. My 6 is not going to be good enough in most cases here, and he could easily have kings or something. So we'll just fold that. Something I get this feeling like I know what they're going to do. I'm not really great at calling ranges, but I am pretty good at knowing what they're going to do. Granted, it's really 2 or 3 choices at most. You have a 50 to 33% chance of being right, but I still tend to be right when I do guess. I wish I said that like a moment earlier too. So this is a decent raise. I got nothing. I'm out of position, so that's fine. You just want to whittle this guy away. Let's do 700 and hope he doesn't have anything to fight 100% back it with. He's going to feel it in the next, minute. He's going to be jumping up. Another stake, another blind, another stake, another blind. This is where I like it to be. I like it to be where he's letting us walk, he's scared of our raises, and every once in a while I fold a hand, our worst hands. And eventually he'll get tired of it, and he'll go all in when we happen to have a good hand that we're willing to call with. That's just really how heads up goes at this point. He's blinding himself away with all these walks. I'm going to throw this away because I do not want to play 8-7 off. Especially now, he is technically in push-fold. I said it right this time. He's in push-fold now. And now, especially, that's because the blind's being up, I guess. Yep, here's that all in. I don't know why this guy does that. Is he typing that number in, and that's why he didn't put the 5 in? I'm not sure why, especially him or other people even, why they do that. I am going to now start putting them all in because there's no reason not to, especially with a pair, which he probably doesn't have. So no 8, no queen, 2 jacks is great, and we have it. Good game, good game. That was fun. You know, if you came through, and I didn't, no one said anything in chat, so I'm not worried there. We did take first, and the second of our 2 games, we bubbled on the first, and I think I played pretty well. So I'm going to happily post this up on YouTube, and if you are watching this on YouTube and went this far, and I don't know how to do good content for YouTube on poker. Again, this originally was for my purpose, you know, for my enjoyment, for my discipline, a matter of discipline, and documenting it and seeing where I could learn from and reviewing notes and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, so we won that. We're up to, let's see, where are we? We are up to $103, up from 110 and 43 cents. And yeah, I mean, I was up here the other day, yesterday maybe, 2 days ago, but I lost a couple games in a row, and that's fine. We are up, and that's all that matters. Okay, thank you for watching, and if you were here, and if not, well, that sucks. But check out floattheflop.com for blog posts, for updates on this challenge, for my insights into this challenge and what I'm learning, and some good resources on poker. And that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.